Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 58 of Gamestack podcast. My Corona. Rick is responsible for this gem of a title.
I am not. No.
Yeah, he's entirely responsible for this gem of a title. But hello and welcome. I am Shalene, and that was Rick. Hello, Rick. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. And Vendor is also here. Hello, Vendertron.
Hi.
Hi.
Ben, do you feel like it's too quiet? I feel like
Hi.
it's too quiet.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not.
Shalene,
I'm not.
hurry up. Just continue.
Is too quiet? What?
He's going to do a thing.
Nothing.
What?
He's going to do a thing.
I'm not. Look, hands. My hands are up here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh my
I
dears.
was not playing with a soundboard before the show.
How are you
all.
gentlemen doing? Tell me about your week.
Good. Yeah, today ended off on a good note. I pitched a new novel method, to my supervisor for my PhD research, and she didn't hate it. So I feel good about that.
Excellent.
Was it a novel idea?
Yeah, it's novel. Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's exciting. Yeah.
I can feel the enthusiasm just
Well,
from here.
Yeah, that's how it is now.
This is my life now.
Pretty much. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm glad it's the weekend. I'm
Right?
really glad it's the weekend. It was kind
I
of a
know.
tough week.
It
Tough
was.
week. But it's over, and I'm hanging out with my friends, and we're going to talk about video games. So that's a good thing.
It's not over yet. We still have to do a show.
I guess if we have to.
The week's
If you
not over.
insist.
And the week is not over until you have listened to an episode of Gamestack Podcast or that Fallout show, which you can find right here, twitch.tv/We Just Love Games, on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Cool.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Nice plug.
Yeah. Just thought I'd do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had to
Rick's
close
distracted.
Discord. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I was getting Discord notifications that were audible on the stream. So I was just trying to close Discord. Apologies.
Yeah.
Hey, before we start a show, let's do some announcements. Are we doing Survival Horror Sunday?
Yeah. I don't know what game I want to do yet. So
We've
why don't
still
we
got the
pick now? You wanna pick now?
DLC for that as well.
Do you
I
want
don't
to
know
keep doing Resident Evil 7?
I don't know. Do you?
It's up to you. I thought we could take a stab at something different. The
Yeah.
two games I was thinking of is Resident Evil 4 or Alan Wake, the first one. Yeah.
Interesting.
Neither of them are incredibly as creepy as Resident
No.
Evil 7.
I
So
really,
it'd be kinda nice to
I
have a
really
limited
dig
break.
Alan Wake though. It's
There you
cool.
go.
It's very
So.
Stephen King. I love it.
But we will be doing Survival Horror Sundays this Sunday at 4.
Eastern.
Just don't know what game yet.
Lovely. It will be a surprise. And Vendor, do you have any streaming planned on twitch.tv/Vendortron?
I don't know yet. It's going to be kind of a busy weekend. So maybe not. I don't know.
Well, keep it tuned. Everybody set up notifications for twitch.tv/Vendortron to catch my dear friend Vendortron's lovely streams. And the final thing I have to mention is that I got an E3 press pass again, so that's good. I'm planning to go to E3, assuming the coronavirus doesn't kill us all between now and June. I will be at E3, so yay! And if you are watching us live, host us on Twitch. If you are not watching us live, tell your friends, tell your grandma's friends. And yeah, we appreciate that. It helps the show grow. You know what else helps the show grow? Leaving us 5-star reviews on different platforms like iTunes. And when people do that, we like to thank them here on the air. Thundertron, what's our 5-star review for this week?
We've got a wicked 5-star review shout out. This one comes from Sarah Saylor from the US. And they say, I've been listening to this podcast for a long time, and I always have the good intention to write a review for it, and I keep forgetting, but I felt like now is an appropriate time to finally get around to writing it. This podcast is one of those ones I listen to at work because it makes the monotonous data entry work that I do much more bearable. I can attest to that. The chemistry between the hosts is incredible, and I can't make it through an episode of this show without busting a gut laughing. Also seconded. Case in point, I was listening to the most recent episode while at work on my shiny pink iPod Shuffle circa 2007, not because I'm a hipster, but because my job doesn't allow us to have an MP3 player with screens. You know, since you were curious about how listeners listen to the podcast. How did you know we were working on a survey? And maybe it was the lack of sleep the night before. More likely it's the shenanigans of the hosts, but I wasn't able to hold my laughter in, you guys. I was in tears. I was scolded in good nature by my supervisor. Anyway, just wanted to share with you all. Please keep up the amazing work. Oh, and Vendor, Phase 10, by far my favorite card game. I grew up playing it with my family, and it's always the most fun. Thank you all so much for the entertaining, delightful podcast. Sarah Saylor. Well, that probably could have fit right into our email section, but I loved every second of it.
That was lovely. Thank you, Sarah.
It's nice.
Sarah
nice
is one
review.
of the dames.
Oh, one
Yeah.
of our dames. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally understand where she's coming from. Data entry, it is monotonous. Yep.
We also have some Discord updates, Vendor, if you'd like to roll into those.
Oh man, we've got some new people. First of all, before we jump into that, we've added some new channels as well. So we now have Soundstack, which is a new one.
Yes.
Rick's doing, and I'm not even mad at the channel name. So that's +1 for you, buddy.
I didn't do anything wrong with any channel names ever on the Discord at all.
Also, we've added a makeup channel, and it's been
makeup
surprisingly popular. Shalene, do you want to comment on the makeup channel?
Yeah, it's been really fun. We've been sharing our favorite products and posting some selfies of our fierce makeup looks. And
Nice.
It's been a nice time talking about some makeup and beauty, and it's been fun. It's nice to have a dedicated space where people who are interested can just totally geek out over makeup, and people who are not interested can just mute that channel. So
I like how the channel was born because people kept posting makeup pictures in the lobby.
yeah.
Anyways, we want to welcome Simon, Gizmo Jeff, Shamino, and the 787 Centauri to the Chat After Dark, which is our Discord, the WJLG Discord. If you guys would like to join us in the Chat After Dark, as Rick calls it, you can scroll down right below where he is sitting in our Twitch page, and there is a direct link right into the server. And also, you can reach out to us on social media, and we'll provide you the link that way as well.
Lovely.
Back to you, Shalene.
Thank you so much. We are going to roll right on into the news. As always, shout out to Joseph Tao. Thank you so much for helping us compile the news. Those news drops that you send make a huge, huge difference in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have new releases. We have some different articles to talk about. It's going to be a big, big week for news. This just in. Why don't you tell us about the new releases for March, Rick?
All right. Well, it's March, month 3 of 2020, and we've got some new games coming your way. First and foremost, on March 3rd, we've got 2 dropping, which is Curse of the Dead Gods, Steam Early Access on PC. Also, the Division 2 Warlords of New York expansion for the PC,
What is
PlayStation
this?
4,
Do you
and
know
Xbox
anything
One.
about this?
I know nothing of Division 2. Ever since we kind of dropped off playing it, I haven't been paying attention.
We need to go back to that and finish it.
I believe it's more things to shoot things. Or
Maybe
more
in New York?
things to shoot.
Or are they
probably.
from New York? Or are we going to New York?
I'm fairly certain it's going to be in New York. Fairly certain. Right around Christmas time, I have a feeling there's going to be gangs of which warlords rule. So nothing's changed much. Despite our
All that
effort to-
work we did in New York in the Division 1, and there are still warlords there. What the heck?
Yeah,
Warlords
yeah.
or landlords?
What's
I
the
think they're one and the
difference?
same. They're
The
one
main
and
boss
the
is probably
same.
going to be Trump and Trump Tower.
Oh no.
Oh, Lord, move on.
Where's
On March
Macaulay
6th.
Culkin when you need him? Sorry.
On March 6th, You can expect such gems as Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Rescue Team DX on the Switch.
Rescue, huh?
Wow.
Rescue. Colon
Yeah.
Rescue Team.
There's
It's
a
a
name
whole
for
team diving into that colon.
There's a name for that. Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Also on March 6th, you can get Yes, Your Grace. I have no idea what that game is, but it
I
comes out
hope
on
it's
PC.
medieval. Or
I don't
like
know.
a Game of Thrones spin-off.
I'm interested. I think we need to look this one up and see what it is. I'm guessing
Okay,
that
let
it's
me-
like a choose your own adventure style
Let me-
game.
Consulting the scribe.
Yes.
I'll wait.
Oh wow, that is a terrible trailer music. It's very like pixelated.
Is it a dating sim?
No, it's medieval as I anticipate. Oh, why is that lady laying on a rug in front of the fireplace?
Yes, Your Grace.
Your Grace.
And there's a fox.
A
Oh,
fox.
Those men are hugging. Well,
This description of this trailer is gold.
yes, Your Grace.
I think we need to do segments, just find really obscure indie games and just do like verbal trailer descriptions. Our listenership would just like go through the roof.
Yeah, that one looks cool. It's like 8-bit kind of.
8-bit? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Or
if
it's
that
like bit. What do they call it? Bit. Why do I even do a gaming podcast?
What
Do you mean? Are you talking about pixel art?
Yeah,
I wasn't
it's all
paying
like-
attention to you. I was
It's
reading
all
the
like
chat.
you
You mean pixel
little-
art?
little squares everywhere.
Yeah.
pixel art? Yeah.
I watched it on the YouTubes. So yeah.
Well, if that doesn't erect your scepter, you can always pay attention to Ori and the Will of the Wisps on March 11th on PC and Xbox One. And on March 13th, you get Nio? Nickel O, if you're going to go with element table. NIOH, how would you say that? Neo?
Nickel oxygen hydrogen.
NIOH is
Nickel oxygen hydrogen.
nickel hydroxide,
on
which I don't
PlayStation
think
4
is possible.
on March 13th.
It's
Also
Neo,
on March-
by the way. It's just
Neo?
Neo.
I knew you had to get the last word in.
Boring.
I knew it.
Neo. It's not even like Matrix related, so
Next.
I've been trying to move on. My Hero 1's Justice 2. What? All right. March
That's
13th.
anime. You know that's anime.
Who put this list together?
Who wrote this title? My
Yeah,
Hero 1's
I mean,
Justice 2.
The titles are accurate. Joseph does not make mistakes on the titles.
This is true. Joseph does not.
Who
make
wrote this
mistakes.
title?
The man
It's a terrible
definitely
title.
does
My
not
Hero
buy
1's
Whiteout.
Justice 2 comes out on March 13th for PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch. And then, I get to get my Spanish on. On March 17th, you get La Moana? Mulana.
She's like
You get La
Friends off,
Moana.
Rick.
1 and
Instant
2
friends
colon
off.
hidden. Treasures edition.
Rick's
It's
face,
like-
you guys.
it's
I
like when
can't even. I wish that all of you audio people could have seen the look on Rick's face after he said that when he was waiting for me to chime in. Just.
Our resident
it's like when I said tamales last night. And you're like,
tamales.
What?
Yeah.
Well, how are you supposed to say it?
Tamales.
Oh.
Duh.
But yeah. Yeah.
You
I
can
think I say it stupidly too plenty of times. I'll be like, hey, I'd like tamales.
Tamales.
Can I get
But-
100 chicken fried chicken?
Yeah.
Are there any taquitos left?
So you can get La Mulana. I don't know how. 1 and 2.
I don't know if
Hidden
that's even an
Treasures
actual
edition.
Spanish word.
I don't know.
I've never heard of
Mulana.
that. If it
But-
was, then I would say it La Mulana. But
Okay, there you go. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Switch, March 17th. On March 19th, you can get PC Engine Core Graphics Mini / Turbo Graphics 16 Mini.
What?
so it's gonna
Whoa,
be like
whoa.
a mini console.
No. We need to. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, it's a mini console. How do you know these things?
Because the Turbo Graphics
Oh.
Yeah.
Turbo Graphics Mini is gonna be
Why do I do
a mini
podcasts?
Turbo Graphics.
So that's that. March 20th, we've got Tree to pick from. We've got Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
Okay, I've got a bone to pick with Joseph Cow here. So you'll note that the significant games he always puts in bold, and you know what's not in bold? Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
That's like in his top 5.
Because it's a mobile game.
It's
No,
not. It's a
Switch is
Switch
not mobile.
game.
Switch is a console, man.
I was just being silly. You can walk around with it. It's mobile.
I do not. I do not approve of not having it. I'm gonna bold it right now. Thank you. Thank you. Rick.
So, all right, now that it's bolded in our internal show notes, which none of you see, we can move on. Also, on March 20th, you get Doom Eternal on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. I know Tim Twig would be all gooey inside.
Oh man.
Because of the guts of the
loves
demons
Doom.
he's destroyed.
Yeah, he's super.
I
he
mean,
does.
you guys remember when we hosted him and
Oh,
Liz for the
right.
Bethesda E3 conference last year, and he was just like,
Oh, he literally didn't bold it because he has an issue with the game. He said, Joseph Tao says, it's because of the issues with the save issues being limited to a console without cloud support.
Yeah, that is
So
a
he's
bit of a
just bitter.
problem. Yeah,
"Oh."
but okay.
What a subtle way to be
You
bitter.
you've defended yourself. You've defended yourself. I still disagree. Animal Crossing.
That's so passive. Are you sure you're not Canadian?
I need it in my life.
So, all right. Also, on March 20th, you get
I love that we
Doom
had the live
64.
rebuttal.
Okay. Half-Life Doom 64, you said?
Doom 64.
Oh, okay.
And that's on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch as well. You may not ever get Half-Life 3, but what you will get on March 23rd, which has a 3 in the date, so it's close enough, you get Half-Life, Alex. So you Half-Life Alex, which is the VR, PC VR.
Is it Alix?
game.
I feel like it's Alix.
Alex,
Really? That's so lame.
have you ever played Half-Life? The Half-Life
No,
series?
but I feel like Half-Life is too cool to be called Alix. I mean Alex. I don't know anymore.
Why are
Just
you
go
The
doing
on.
this podcast?
the character is named Alex.
Exactly.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
just
excited
shut
for
myself
something good.
out.
March 24th, we got 2 titles. We got Moons of Madness, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Then Bleeding Edge, PC and Xbox One. On March 27th, you can get Saints Row 4, re-elected, which I guess is just the remake of Saints Row 4.
Is this like predicated on? Never mind.
I was waiting for the re-election of a colon joke.
Yeah.
Re-elected.
You mean hashtag 2020? Yeah.
Then on March 27th, nope, also on March 27th, you get One Piece: Pirate Warriors 4. I wanted to pause there for no reason whatsoever.
Why are
One
there so
Piece-
many colons?
One Piece: Pirate. Pirate, it's great. He's all for the booty. Warriors 4 on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch. On March 31st, you can get Persona 5 Royal on PlayStation 4. Also on March 31st, on Steam Early Access for PC, you get Mountain Blade 2: Bannerlord. Pirate versus Bannerlord. Who will win? There are a lot of colons this month.
Well, I mean, it's that time of year. You gotta get your fiber.
Well, last month
Swimsuit
was
season's
Love
coming
Month.
up.
There was less colons in it.
Can we name our posse tonight Pirates? Is there a way to name your group when you're on the
No.
server?
No, but that's great.
All right, we'll
All
table
right,
that for later.
March 31st, the last game that comes out this month is just simply called The Complex, out on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Switch. But wait,
Thank
there's
you.
more.
Oh,
There's some free games that are coming out. And on PlayStation Plus, you can get Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus. I failed that one. That was bad.
no, that
That's
was
just-
really good.
That was pretty
Shadow
good.
of the
That-
Colonists.
That went the way of old Yeller.
Oh, that was good. Yeah.
So Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces will be available March 3rd until April 6th on Xbox Live Games with Gold. Source, Kotaku article by Riley McLeod. MacLeod. I don't know. Screw it.
Of the Clan
Batman.
McLeod, there can be only one.
There's more colons, guys. Every single one. No. All but one game on the Xbox Live games have colons in them. Are you ready for all the colons? Here
This
we
is the
go.
only reason we do the list anymore.
Buckle
Because
up.
we're all 10.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. Buckle up, Buttercup. Here we go. Batman, the enemy within the complete season, March 1st
Sometimes
through the 31st.
Sometimes the colon can be the
Yes, yes. Especially after you have tacos. And then, let's see, March 16th to April 15th, you can get Shantae, half Genie Hero.
I'm excited
March
to
1st.
play that. I've been wanting to play that. I love those Shantae
What is it
games.
about?
Okay, Shantae, those are platformers starring a belly dancer who can transform into animals. So, yeah.
Well, sign me up.
She fights with her luxurious Ariana Grande ponytail. It's great.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
one of those
Okay.
like
She can do a little belly dance.
Lisa
in the middle
Kudrow
of-
on High
yeah,
School
It's fabulous.
reunion.
Yeah, they're real cute games.
Cute.
The enemy is usually a pirate lady named Risky Boots.
Risky Boots.
She,
Yeah. Okay.
She a pirate? She had to steal all the booty.
Yeah.
Anus. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow 2. March 1st through the 15th.
Okay.
And then Sonic Generations on March 16th through the 31st. So
Oh,
those are the-
speaking of booty, have you guys seen? Have you guys seen the new Sonic movie cup, like the movie cup?
No.
What does this have to do with booty? I'm scared to
Really?
ask.
Okay, so I gotta go and find it now because, it's so good, and maybe I could show on my phone. I don't know. But so they made this cup, right, for the Sonic movie. Oh, here it is. And like his butt is so beautiful.
Sonic's butt?
Yeah, and everybody's talking about his butt.
It's all
Like,
blue
it's
and
like-
furry.
Where's the? I need to hold on. I'm
People like furry.
Here. Okay. So
He's got her mouth covered like she
I don't
just
know
can't
if you
believe
can
this.
see it, but it's like
It's
Sonic's.
all blurry, man.
Oh, right.
It's very blurry.
This is not gonna work.
Yeah, it will work. See, it's
Oh,
Sonic's,
look at that.
Sonic's nice
Yeah.
butt, and then it's like sexy Flanders.
Yeah.
It's like feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Anyways, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow, that's a thing.
now that
Yeah.
I got that out of my system, I'm okay.
Well, speaking of furry things, on Twitch Prime, you can get Furry, which is an action shooter. You can get Bomber Crew, which is a strategic simulator. And then you get Epistory Typing Chronicles, a typing action adventure game. Those still exist? That's a thing still?
Apparently, I mean, kids gotta learn to type.
Whispers of a Machine is a sci-fi Nordic noir game.
That description makes me so want to try
Yeah.
it. Those are all things I love.
And machines.
I mean, that title makes more sense for the typing action adventure game.
Then you got Mugster, which is a physics-based puzzler, and other miscellaneous loot and freebies that apparently could not be bothered to be mentioned. So, that's the rear end of this segment. Continue, Shalene.
Thank you, Rick. That was a thing.
What was the thing?
So you know what else is a thing? The coronavirus. It's a thing. It's a problem. And it's affecting the video game industry. Many companies have been dropping out of different conferences like PAX and GDC due to coronavirus concerns. And we have this master list from IGN. It's a list by Joe Screbbles. And it's a lot. It's a lot. PAX East, Sony has pulled out. Capcom canceled their involvement. Square Enix backed out. The mayor of Boston, Marty Walsh, sent a letter to Sony urging them to reconsider skipping PAX because I believe it's because they needed the economic boost to their town. You
How
know, they
many
were counting
people-
on that.
Yeah.
But his statement was, these fears reinforce harmful stereotypes that generations of Asians have worked hard to dismantle.
True.
That's a quote from Walsh's letter.
True.
CD Projekt Red canceled their presence at PAX. PUBG Corp canceled their plans to attend PAX. And GDC coming up in March. Oh, this just in, breaking news. Joseph says that GDC was completely canceled about an hour ago.
Whoa.
Completely
Well,
canceled.
Oh,
Goodbye.
And-
GDC canceled.
Up to this point, over the last couple of days, different companies had been backing out. Journalists had been backing out. There just wasn't going to be much of a presence there at all. So it frankly, it made sense to cancel the show. I do hope that people were refunded for their fee, and that's going to hurt a lot of people. You know, a lot of those hotel fees and travel fees are non-refundable.
Yeah.
So
You think E3 is going to be affected?
it might be. It might be. Yeah, it's possible. I
It's
just
just
there's
gonna
no
be
way
like-
to know.
It's
There's no
gonna
way
be
to
us
know.
too.
It might just be us.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
you'll get a discount and more swag. So, and you won't have to wait in lines.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's.
Could you
that's-
imagine? We'll get out to LA, Shalene, and it'll be like Last of Us, but like you and me.
Except, I'll be Joel.
What? No, Shalene, the only thing you're allowed to touch is the ladder over there. Go get that.
I can't swim. You'll have to float me across lakes.
That's true. You actually can.
I actually can't. So, if there's any water that's like more than knee high, you're gonna have to float me across on a pallet. Wow, this is the most off the rails we've potentially ever been.
I know.
But yeah, GDC is completely canceled. So
Yeah, should we just touch on that for a second?
go
here?
ahead.
So so the most recent article by TechCrunch talks about how the Game Developers Conference team in San Francisco has been paying attention to all of the developers that have been pulling out of other conferences as well, raising concerns about their own event, and announced today that they've officially decided to cancel the event happening next month, saying in a blog post that they hope they would be able to reschedule the event later in the summer. Now, nearly all of the event's top corporate sponsors who were announced said that they would not be sending employees to the conference due to concerns surrounding coronavirus. And Microsoft, Unity, Epic, Amazon, Facebook, and Sony had all pulled away from joining that conference. And in GDC's official statement, they did not mention or reference the virus at all. But they did say, you know, we will be working with our partners to finalize the details, and we'll share more information about our plans in the coming weeks. So GDC, just for you guys, just for information purposes, is a tech conference. Yeah, yesterday Facebook kind of also announced that it would be canceling the in-person component of its F8 conference. And we've already seen other cancellations in the industry, such as GSMA's Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. So anyways, that's kind of what we know about GDC 2020 so far.
Thank you for that update, Vendor.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Okay. But it is highly possible that that this will affect E3. There's only time will tell. You know, we don't know how long these health concerns will continue, and you know, it could get bad. It could get better. There's only time will tell.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to get as bad as we think it will. No.
Good.
Was this worse than bird flu or swine flu or avian flu or any of those other flus that have come out of that same country?
So swine flu is still an ongoing concern. Actually, even in Canada right now, we have a swine flu that is killing fetal pigs by like 100% success rate.
Oh my.
And it's not zoonotic, so it doesn't transfer to humans, but it's a huge impact to the agricultural and
Right.
food market industry, right?
That's going to be devastating to pork producers.
Oh, absolutely. Millions of dollars lost every day. And SARS was not as transmissible, but it had a higher R naught or like infection
What
rate.
is the okay?
Thank you.
But okay, so yeah, so R naught is kind of like the rate of infection from
Gotcha.
person to person. So like, if a virus has an R naught of 3, it means that if Rick has coronavirus, the chances of him infecting other people could be up to 3 people with the virus. So, yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with. Oh, you were asking about SARS. Yeah, so I mean, coronavirus is more transmissible than SARS, but we have learned so much from the SARS outbreak that we are very well prepared. Very well prepared.
Excellent.
And I think culturally, North America is so different than China. And I think people have fears that are irrational.
So, Vendor, because you are an epidemiologist and we have a public platform, what are a couple of quick steps that people can do to help avoid catching viruses in general?
I mean, personal hygiene is the first most important thing. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't share food. Don't kiss other people or touch other people that you might suspect are sick. And, be mindful of public contact points. So opening doors, door handles, touching elevator buttons, railings, things like that. Even handling food in the supermarket, what you can do is just turn your vegetable bag inside out and just grab what you want, like you do when you walk the dog. And then when you get home, just wash it all. Not in bleach. Just wash it in some water.
The flipping the bag around.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, personal hygiene and home hygiene is also equally important. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you, Vendor.
But
so now you know. We also know
This has been a Gamestack public service announcement.
Yeah.
And back to your regularly scheduled gaming podcast. We've got some new information about the Xbox Series X. This is sourced from a gamesindustry.biz article by Brendan Sinclair. And they just revealed a few new details for their new console. There will be a quick resume feature that allows players to have multiple games in a suspended state so that you can just get right back into that action. So that's a good thing. Usually it closes one game if you open another. So this is pretty neat that it has the power to keep both games in a suspended state. It will support HDMI 2.1, which will let the console set the connected TV or monitor to the mode with lowest latency and synchronize refresh rates between the display and the game. And also some previously announced features like SSD storage, 120 frames per second support, optimized wireless communications with the controller, with a focus on instant immersion. And the Series X will have 12 teraflops of GPU performance. That is double the teraflops of the Xbox One Pro. What's it called? Xbox One X? Xbox One X. It's right here in the article. If I can just continue reading. That's twice the Xbox One X's total and more than 8 times the original Xbox One's capabilities.
If you thought Halo 1 looked good.
And also, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, provided some more details on some other features First-party games will support cross-generation entitlements as well as achievements and game saves. And part of that will be a feature called Smart Delivery, which allows players to purchase a game once and play it either on the Xbox One or on the Xbox One Series X.
Convenient.
So, yeah, you buy Cyberpunk once on your Xbox One, and then when you upgrade your console, you automatically own the version for the most advanced console. You don't have to buy it again, which is a
Look at
lovely
those guys.
lovely thing for consumers.
Nice.
And he also provided a hypothetical situation where if a game launches on the Xbox One first and a customer buys it, they will be able to play the Series X version when it is released on that console later on. And that is only guaranteed for first-party Microsoft exclusives. But Microsoft is making the feature available for other developers and publishers to use, and CD Projekt Red has announced that Cyberpunk 2077 will take advantage of this feature. So that's very cool indeed. So I'm
Nice.
not looking forward to the Xbox Series X though. All the news that I'm hearing about the Xbox Series X tells me that I don't need one. You know, I have this perfectly good Xbox One X sitting right here, and there are no exclusive games for the Series X off the bat, so I don't need one, is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
But it's better than the.
I know, it has all those teraflops.
I hate their naming though. Like, how many Xbox One X's are going to get bought thinking they're going to be the Xbox Series X?
Mm-hmm.
By white-haired grandmothers and grandfathers.
Frankly, I don't know if they could have done a worse job with the naming.
Next, they're going to call it the Xbox Series X1 10, but the 10 is going to be a Roman numeral X.
Like, I
then
feel
they're
like
gonna have an S
I feel
model
like
of
they're
that
just trolling people at this point.
It's pretty bad.
It's
Yeah.
terrible. It's
Stupid.
atrocious. It's atrocious.
I wonder how
Terrible name.
much that impacts sales.
Probably not a lot.
Like, do people not buy it just because they don't like the name?
No, I doubt
Yeah,
that.
people buy this stuff all the time. They don't care.
Xbox One X1?
They just look. They probably buy via the price tag. Yeah, give me the most expensive one. Yeah, and then that's probably the one that's going to be fine. Xbox X. X marks the spot.
The Xbox X. I absolutely. That's
I approve.
wonderful. That's wonderful.
Do you have the X? No, I have the X.
So
X sounds like a medicine.
it does.
Yes.
day I wake up and take X.
Absolutely. That's. It keeps me regular.
stay regular. I take X.
Oh, my dears. Okay. Resident Evil 3 Remake demo is coming. The source for this is a GameSpot article written by Richard Wakeling. And this is probably something we're going to check out on Survival Horror Sunday eventually, right? Resident Evil 3 Remake?
Oh, of
Indeed.
course. I don't know if I like the fact that Nemesis is a persistent, random, unkillable thing.
Like Mr.
Because-
X?
Yeah, but apparently he's going to be more assertive, I guess, in his chasing. Which just, it's like, I want to have some time to explore
Mm-hmm.
the area, and it's hard to do that when you have Mr. Ugly Mug chasing you around a little bit. But we'll see.
So, did you play the original Resident Evil 3?
Oh yeah, there. That was the first. That was the first Resident Evil that I ever played.
Oh,
was Resident
interesting.
Evil 3.
So
And
that
it
wasn't
was-
the case in the original?
Correct. I had never played the original one actually. I never played Resident Evil 1.
No, I mean this guy
no,
being like that.
Nemesis popped up a few times, but you would so he'd pop up and you were Jill, you were part of STARS, and you would, special tactics and response service. Anyway, squad. Anyway, so he would pop up. It was a scripted event. You would kill him, and then he'd hold his arm and go STARS, and then drop to the ground, and that was it. And then he'd once you kill him, he'll come back stronger, and you kill him again. Like he was like a boss at
Mm-hmm.
certain events, and then eventually, the last boss's nemesis evolved. Um, but no, he wasn't unstoppable. You would kill him, and he would just fall down. Even Mr. X in Resident Evil 2, you would kill him, and he would just drop to the ground, and then eventually disappear, and he wouldn't show up again until the next scripted event. He
Right.
didn't just persistently chase you. This is kind of a new thing, and if the pacing is okay, that's the one thing I worry about. Is like if you're constantly being pushed. That was wonderful about the original Resident Evils. It would give you time to kind of relax or look around, and it was just you feel quiet and alone. So yeah, I'm excited for it though.
Lovely. Well, the demo will launch ahead of the game's launch on April 3rd, so we will be able to check this out probably sometime pretty soon. I'm looking forward to it. We don't have a precise date yet, but we'll
I'm looking
definitely
forward
check
to it
that
too.
out. Yeah. And if we get Resident Evil 3 and we decide we hate it, if we get it from GOG, from Good Old Games, we can return it because they have a new refund policy. This comes from GameSpot article written by Stephen T. Wright. And their new refund policy allows that you can return a game within 30 days of purchase even if you have played it, regardless of the amount of playtime that you have put into the game. So this is a very consumer-friendly move. I think it will not necessarily be a very developer-supported move because it does give the player a lot of power in terms of deciding not to pay for a game, even if they've played and enjoyed it. I don't know how many people do that, but I feel like some people would take advantage. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Could be good, could be bad.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things that you have to kind of just wait and see.
One of the things with GOG is that all of its games are DRM free. So if you've allowed your game to be on this platform to begin with, I feel like it's already pretty easy if somebody does want to play your game without paying it for it.
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know. Joseph had some commentary in the news drop for this article. He says, the policy is very generous and makes sense since DRM lists games that are downloaded straight to your hard drive and don't have to be launched through a launcher won't have their time played tracked by the GOG store. I mean, if you hate launchers, GOG is the best place to buy games. Which is a good point. It does give you more control over the game that you own. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's really one of the only storefronts where you actually own the game instead of a license to play the game. So, indeed. Have you guys heard of GeForce Now?
No.
GeForce Now is a streaming service from NVIDIA. You can sign up for a free version, and the free account lets you stream games from your PC. And so, like, even if you have a potato, you can stream it and have good quality, right?
Gotcha.
And the free account version lets you stream for an hour at a time, and then you have to log out and log in again. And they have a paid version that I think currently the subscription is $5.99 a month, something like that. That gives you unlimited playtime and better features, that kind of thing. Well, Bethesda has pulled some of their games from GeForce Now, and some other publishers have as well. This removal of Bethesda's games was announced on the NVIDIA forums by community manager Corey Banks, who noted that Wolfenstein Youngblood will still be compatible with GeForce Now. And this came shortly after Activision Blizzard pulling its catalog from GeForce Now, just 1 week after the service launched. And an NVIDIA spokesperson said that their inclusion had been a misunderstanding, believing that the publisher's participation in the trial extended to the full service. So it sounds like Activision had not actually agreed to having their games accessible beyond the trial, the experimentation phase. And the general manager of NVIDIA, Phil Eisler, stated that as we approach a paid service, some publishers may choose to remove games before the trial period ends. Ultimately, they maintain control over their content and decide whether the game you purchase includes streaming on GeForce Now. Meanwhile, others will bring games back as they continue to realize GeForce Now's value. Stay tuned for more on that. As the transition period comes to completion, game removals should be few and far between, with new games added to GeForce Now every week. And I feel like this service kind of snuck up on the world. I've heard really good things about it. Some of our Discord users have been taking advantage of it and playing games at a higher quality than they could get from the PC that they own. And it's just you're playing the games that you already own. This is basically what Stadia was supposed to be, but easier is what it sounds like to me. I'd like to try it out myself and just learn more about it, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this something you'd be interested in?
Nah, not really. Streaming services never really appealed to me,
Right.
so I'd rather
That's
just buy the game and play it on my PC.
Bethesda's not the only one that made those changes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, I won't
think it
be
was-
really interested until it's available on my iPad.
Wasn't it Activision no
Mhm.
longer supports?
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So-
I would like to have this available to stream on my iPad, and then, when I'm at conferences and stuff, I could have access to my PC game library. That would
Yeah,
be fantastic. I would love that.
There you go.
But until that's an option, I don't think this is something that I will try.
Mm.
I don't know.
Boredom will always plague you at those conferences.
It will. It will. But you know what I can play to cure that boredom is a mobile game called Plague Inc., which is available on both PC and mobile platforms. But not if my conference is in China, because China has pulled Plague Inc. from the App Store. This is a Kotaku article by Ethan Gack. And the creators of Plague Inc. say that it was taken down over illegal content by China's Cyberspace Administration. A quote here says, "We've just been informed that Plague Inc. includes content that is illegal in China as determined by the Cyberspace Administration of China and has been removed from the China App Store. The situation is completely out of our control," stated Endemic Creations. And this game, it dates back to 2012, and it challenges players to try and wipe out the human race by creating a disease. And the more people fall sick, the more DNA points you accrue, and you can mutate your disease to make it deadlier. And because China is the most populous country on Earth, it is a popular place for players to put Patient Zero in the game. And the game's removal, of course, does come in the wake of the coronavirus. So I think that can't be a coincidence.
We know China historically makes decisions passively.
Yeah. The game
So-
surged in popularity in China in late January as the number of people with the coronavirus began to grow. And a similar thing happened in 2014 during the Ebola outbreak. And I believe on our last episode of Gamestack, Vendertron, you mentioned that this developer was actually released a statement trying to discourage people from using the game as a scientific source of information.
Yeah. I think that was just, corporate responsibility.
Yeah.
And good on their part, because it's not an actual valid simulation of what you can expect to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the latest thing there. And we have a final bit of news that is a bit of a tragic thing. The creator of the Konami code, Kazuhisa Hashimoto, Kazuhisa
perfect to me.
Hashimoto, has died at age 61. This is a Kotaku article written by Ian Walker. And of course, if you're listening to a gaming podcast, you're probably familiar with the Konami code. Um, and
Wow. It's really sad that they don't show his picture.
it is, yeah. Yeah, they
It's
just,
kind of a disservice to him.
I agree with that. I agree with
Yeah.
that as well. Yeah, they just
Bad on
show
you, Kotaku.
a picture of the code itself, which is odd. But Konami has stated that they are saddened to hear about the passing of Kazuhisa Hashimoto, who introduced the world to the Konami code, and our thoughts are with his family and friends at this time. And the news was shared on Twitter by composer Yuji Takenouchi. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry for my pronunciations here. But this code was created while he was an employee of Konami during the 1980s, when he was creating the NES version of Gradius. He said, I hadn't played that much and obviously couldn't beat it myself, so I put in the Konami code. He said this in a 2003 interview. Because I was the one who was going to be using it, I made sure it was easy to remember. And Konami went on to use this code or variations of it in many of its games. It became an iconic pop culture reference. It's shown up everywhere, from Rocket League to the website for the Bank of Canada. So it's absolutely an important piece of gaming history. Many games include Konami code Easter eggs, and a 61 is not very old. So our thoughts are with Hashimoto's family and friends and the people who knew him, and we thank him for his contributions to our industry.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's the news for this time. And we have some more sad news as well. Let's talk about GameStock. Take it away, Vendor.
Well, guys, so GameStop reported in US dollars as of 11:18 a.m. Mountain Standard Time today. And these numbers are reported since the last episode we had. Sony closed at 61.41, down $8.77. Microsoft closed at 162.06, down $8.64. Nintendo, not far behind, $41.45, down $4.45. Take-Two closed at 106.98, down $17.66. Activision down 80 cents, closing at 57.68. Ubisoft down just about 30 cents at 14.85. EA closed at $100.80, down $7.12. And Tencent seems to be the only one that's doing well, closing at $49.08, up $1.17. And so a lot of red, you guys. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys know, but yesterday was a very lively and scary day for the stock market. Financial markets all over plunged for the sixth consecutive day yesterday, as coronavirus fears have been looming over global trade and stock. And the Dow Jones in particular dropped over 1,100 points, which is the biggest drop in the history of the stock. Yeah, that's a little bit alarming. The S&P 500 also showed a drastic correction, dropping as well. And just so you guys know, a correction is anything that is characterized as a 10% decline from the most recent all-time high. But the Dow Jones Howard Silverblatt said in an email that global markets were down 1.83 trillion yesterday, with the U.S. down 1.3 trillion. And he added that over the past 6 days, global markets erased 6 trillion in wealth, with U.S. markets losing about 4 trillion. And yeah, so this is kind of alarming. I think that investors are starting to get cold feet. and the virus, continues to spread globally. We know, and I don't think that this is the last of dips that we will see moving forward.
Right.
And at the same time, the biggest Canadian stock exchange, the TSX, the Toronto Stock Exchange, shut down for what they called a technical halt, as the stock markets around the globe and investors are selling off their stock. The company that owns and operates the Toronto Stock Exchange ordered the technical halt due to what they claim to be a technical problem with the order entry system on their main index. The TSX Venture Exchange and the Alternative Alpha Exchange as well. So they said that the outage also affected the Montreal Exchange. And yeah, and this was about an hour after they had the market had opened. It was halted, and a lot of speculators are saying, that it had nothing to do with a technical glitch, and that the regulators are trying to control
Right.
a recession. Um, and so, yeah, we will see. We will see how things fare in the next couple of days, I think. Even well, I mean, thank God it's the weekend, because we won't see any activity Saturday, Sunday, but Monday could be potentially very, very damning. So
I think I'll install Robinhood and buy a couple of stocks.
yeah. Well, I mean, and to be honest with you guys, I mean, it's bad for a lot of people, but it's a good opportunity to buy. It's a good opportunity to buy in. This is a great time for people to enter the market. Maybe not right now. Give it some time. But if you were,
let it go down a little more.
yeah, exactly. Pretty much. So yeah, bad time for stocks.
Thank you, Vendor. That was, gosh, the middle of this podcast just it's really
The Dow
down.
Jones dropped the biggest amount of points in a single day ever yesterday.
Ever?
Ever.
Ever?
And it's in the history of their stock.
Wow.
So that's alarming. It's alarming. So, and the S&P dropped the I think the most since the 2008 financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
Yeah.
anyways, on to greener pastures.
Yes, let's talk about something happier. Rick, what have you been playing?
No Man's Sky.
How's that?
It's good.
Okay.
Vendor!
Vendor!
They released a new update, Living Ships, where there's a quest line to get a ship that's actually a living creature.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I think there's like up to 12 different variations or something like that, because they're procedurally generated.
Right.
So I did the thing that I do. I made a new character and got rid of my old one, because I was like, you know what? They've had like 2 major updates since when I played last, and this is the third, but it's not super major.
Right.
So let's check it out. And I've been doing the Artemis quest, and checking things out that way. And it's good. It's a good, solid game. If you just like do the quests, there's direction and it's not boring. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a grind for materials. So it's definitely good. I didn't get to the mission where I find a living ship, but one of the things that did happen in your quest to find Artemis, which is this other traveler, because in the lore of the universe, travelers are an entity. There's the Korvax, there's the Gek, and then there's the Vy'keen, and then there's the travelers. And travelers seem to be somewhat of like an anomaly, kind of. Do you guys mind if I spoiler this? Like
Go ahead.
The whole game? Because it's been out since 2016.
Yep.
So the universe of No Man's Sky is a simulation.
Okay.
Literally, in the game. Atlas is a machine running the simulation. If I understand it correctly, when you reach Atlas, beat the main quest line, you have a chance to either do something, I think leave or something maybe, or reboot the machine. And if you reboot the machine, it just starts over, and it's another iteration of the universe. So whenever you meet like a farmer, or when you meet certain people, they're like, which time did we meet? Is this the first time or the last time? Or like, oh, I've met you before, and you're like, you've never met me before in my life, and it's just another iteration of your life. So it's very much that sort of thing, very Buddhist in a way. It's very much like you keep repeating things to try to get it right. But so Artemis is kind of trapped in this simulation thing, and you step through this gate during one of the missions. You go through this portal, and I ended up on this planet. Like, it was called a malfunctioning planet, and it had these like steel orbs that had like what looked like suction cups all over, but they weren't suction cups. It's the best way I can describe it. And in the middle of it, it was like a glowing light, and then they were just kind of floating and moving in the air. And then the animals, like the creatures of this planet, were like glowing orbs of electricity, just kind of
Cool.
floating around a little bit. Yeah, it was real strange. It was real strange. The earth was, or like the ground was littered with like pieces of metal that looked like a big spaceship had blown up, but they were just naturally occurring. And
This
like,
makes me
That's
want to play No
neat.
Man's Sky.
yeah, like it was just a crazy planet. And
We
like
need
as
to
I'm
get into. We
exploring,
need to get back into that.
it's great. And then so as I was exploring, I got zapped away into another location.
Mm.
But apparently my wife had found a planet that the terrain was all hex. It was like hex, like hex plates. That
Yeah.
was the
I've
terrain.
I've found a similar planet.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
want to see that. It probably looks
That's
really cool.
neat.
Yeah.
But so that's what I was doing. And then at the end of the Artemis quest, do you mind if I spoil this quest, guys?
I
I don't
don't.
Rick,
care about the
just
audience.
say whatever you want to
Okay.
say.
So at the you spend all this time trying to find Artemis, and you find his grave, and he's dead. And he is when you're talking with him, he's kind of existing between worlds. He's kind of in Nowheresville, and you build a thing to like capture his soul, and you have a choice. You can either put him in a simulation, which is kind of funny, and he can like live out his days in joy, but if he ever finds out what actually happened to him, it would be really painful. Or you could let his soul go and let him die, right? So after all this time, I just let him die, and because I felt like that was the best thing to do, was just to let him be at peace. And it was such a touching thing. I don't know, it was just touching. So I'm still kind of finishing up that quest. These quests are long, and I'm looking for that one with the living ship. And I don't know where
And you
that
haven't
happens. I don't
found
know
it?
when that comes. No, yeah, I don't know
No.
when it happens.
I
But
have
it's such a
9.
good
I have
game.
9 of the 27 achievements
Nice.
in No Man's Sky. That's it.
So I started building up a little fleet. I got a freighter and
Mhm.
two other smaller support ships. One's a science ship,
Mm.
and one's a trade ship, and the other one's a combat ship. So I like building those up and sending them out on missions and things like that. I have a
Yeah.
small little base, so yeah, it's a fun
Are
game.
you
I
on
have
a
a
nice
couple
planet
ships.
at least?
It's all right. It's like red grass and lakes
Okay.
everywhere. There's no
Nice.
there's no storms, no radiation damage, but at
Perfect.
the same time, there's no rare materials. It was just like one of the first planets I built on.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, I needed to build a base. So as I get closer to the core, the planets apparently get cooler and better. I'll settle somewhere else, but for now, I have a nice little base going with
Nice.
electricity. It's I like building in that game. I like building in that game more than I like building in Ark. So it's a fun game. It's a good
Yeah,
one.
I like No Man's Sky. I like exploring, I think is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Discovering new planets. And a lot of people don't really take the time to do this, but I like to take the time to explore all of the different types of rocks, the different types of plants, the different types of animals, and try to fill in and get all of
Mm-hmm.
like it's a completionist's dream. Like every planet, there's like a list of alien
Oh, yeah.
animals, creatures that you have to like discover. Um, and yeah, I like to complete those lists.
Until you
Some
have
of
a
them are
mission.
really hard because you have to like go looking for them in caves and stuff, or like underwater. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Until you have a mission where you have to like upload, like scan 4 rocks or like 4 animals, and you go to a planet in a system where it's like every planet has no life on it whatsoever.
yeah.
Just like I got to spend another warp core flying to another system.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's such a cool game. I mean, there's only a couple little tweaks that I would like to have. Um, I want to be able to walk around my spaceship. Like if it's a big giant cargo ship that I'm flying around, I want to be able to like fly it and then like get out of the seat and walk to the back.
Oh yeah.
You know, rather than just kind of like warp out of the cockpit. It'd be kind of cool to like have it like land and then like a flap open up so I can like walk out of it. That'd be really cool. And
One thing that they've
some of the
really,
combat is real clunky. I don't like the combat in it. I wish that was a little more refined.
yeah.
But yeah, other than
One
it's a
thing
great
that they
game.
have really done well is the photo mode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Photo mode is beautiful.
It's like really
that
good.
that was one of the first games with photo mode.
I
Wasn't
think
it
so.
true?
Yeah, I think so.
One of the first.
Yeah.
So, but that's kind of all I've been playing. I've been picking away at Drake's Uncharted 2. I'm at the end of that game, so I'm getting close. But other than that, no, I haven't been playing much. I've been really busy outside of work, outside of here and stuff. So,
Lovely.
yeah, that's all my gameplay.
Thanks, Rick. I'm glad you're enjoying No Man's Sky. I really enjoy all the screenshots from No Man's Sky. I
I
think
need to
it's
post them more.
It's so
such
beautiful.
a great screenshot game. It wasn't really my cup of tea any of the couple of times that I've tried it, but I enjoy looking at the screenshots. Yeah. So Vendor, what have you been taking screenshots of lately?
Well, guys, I have fallen in love with Red Dead Redemption, as you know, and it consumed a better part of my February, including all of reading week. I finished the game, finished it completely.
I'm really excited to hear this.
I don't want to spoil it for you. I don't want to spoil the end.
Sorry, Shalene never finished
It's
it.
okay. It's been like over a year. It's okay.
Do you know how the game ends, Shalene?
I have a feeling that I do. I have a feeling that it ends in a similar way to Red Dead 1.
Okay, so why don't you speculate?
Well, I happened to tune into one of your streams and you were not playing as Arthur Morgan.
Yeah. So Arthur dies. He dies. Yeah, it was intense. It was really, really intense.
Yeah.
There were critical choices that I had to make. And I lost my horse.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That was probably
sucked.
the hardest.
That sucked so bad.
Yeah, it was Arthur Morgan is a video game character like nothing I have ever experienced in games before. You are in the Old West with this character throughout the whole game, and his horse, and you bond with this person like you bond with your friends, and it's just wild. And I won't tell you how he dies, but the ending of like the scene of how they put it all together is very, very emotional.
Yeah.
Oh, I cried a little bit.
I did too.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it was a little intense. And yeah, like I don't want to spoil it too much.
Can I ask you a question, Vendor,
Yeah.
about the game? So, was there a moment, like when you started this game out, were you a little more rambunctious, like we'll steal stuff and take a stagecoach and do this? But was there a moment in the game where all of a sudden you're just like, I've got to be a good person? And
No.
Okay.
Because
For
I had
me-
always made the point of playing a good person from the start.
Well, for me, like it was weird. I was like kind of having like Rockstar game fun, like Stagecoach Robin, and like, being crazy in the world because that's how it is.
Yeah.
But then there was a moment in the game, like in the storyline, where all of a sudden I'm like, things just got really real, and I have to be a better human in the game. I don't know. I just think that was my experience. I just wasn't sure if you had
Yeah.
something similar.
Yeah. Well, I definitely struggle with morality in that game.
Yeah.
And I have found myself taking care of bullies So when I'm going through a field or an area where I know there isn't a lot of people around and there's just two people and one person is in distress because they're being attacked by somebody else, even though it's none of my business and I just happen to be riding by, I'm gonna pop a cap in your ass because you don't mess with people. So I had this like zero tolerance policy for like really bad people, um, like the Lemoyne Raiders, for example. It was every time I came up upon a Lemoyne raid, it was a bloodbath. I was like, and then everyone was dead, including also the person that was being robbed by accident. So
Job well done.
yeah, leave no stone unturned.
Did you do the Confederate mansion mission? The bum that's in the second town. You know the second town you go to? Not Valentine. You're next to the river, right? There's a
Yeah,
camp
yeah,
next
yeah,
to the
yeah,
river.
yeah.
And there's that little town across the way. There's like a drunk dude. They took everything from me. And you
Yes,
could
he's
do.
on the bench and he's
Did
like,
you do that mission to the end at the campsite?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually,
Yeah.
no, I gotta tell you about this.
No?
Okay, no, I gotta
Ooh.
tell you. Just listen, just listen.
Tell me.
So when
Tell
Arthur
me.
died, okay, there's this guy in the posse that Arthur's part of, and turns out I didn't realize this, and 4 Mile realized this because she was watching me play one night. She said, "You know what? That's the guy from Red Dead Redemption 1,
Mm-hmm.
um, John Marston."
Marston.
Yeah.
And I'm
So-
attached to John Marston the way that you are attached to Arthur Morgan.
Well, you're gonna love this then, Shalene, because when Arthur dies, okay, John Marston comes into the picture. Because the whole game is about, in the end, it's all about John Marston.
Mhm.
It's all about him. It always was from the start, but we just don't know it. Well, I mean that's the way I perceive it, but really it's about Arthur Morgan. Anyways, so there's an epilogue, which is wonderful, and you play as John Marston. You know, there's, I don't want to spoil it, but you work for a rancher and you got to do chores.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, you've got your son and your wife and you got to take care of them. And but there's this part where you start becoming more independent, and you decide to break off and start your own ranch. And so I started my own ranch, but I also had to tie up some loose ends. So I met up with some people that were main characters in the original storyline, which was really cool because they were all reminiscent of Arthur and what great of a guy he was. And then I'm crying again. It's like terrible. But Arthur had unfinished business throughout the map because I didn't finish a lot of the side quests before he died. And it was really cool because John Marston just sort of paid homage to that and finished all of those side quests. And it's really cool finishing those side quests as John Marston because, you know, he would walk up to the guy who's the drunk, like lost everything. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Arthur's friend. Oh, I heard about you." Blah, 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 blah. And it was just like this really cool experience.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, even though Arthur wasn't there, I was attached to him through John. I wore Arthur's hat all the time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I did too.
All the time.
Yeah.
And his satchel, because like you just have to. Yeah.
That's touching.
It was so like, ugh. So now it's like great because I got this horse and I've got this farm and like, one thing that I didn't like about the game is that there were no quests, nothing of the main quest and no side quests that took you west into Armadillo and Tumbleweed, into the desert area.
That's weird.
You
Yeah.
just had to go there.
So there's this whole part of the map that is like Nevada, basically, or like Mexico, and it's not part of the game. So
That's really
John-
strange that they would put it there without taking you there.
Yeah. So I
You go
had
there in the
to
end.
I had to go and explore all of that. So John decided to go on a little trip, leave the wife and child behind, and go on a trip backpacking across the desert. And that in itself has all kinds of stories. There's like treasure maps and things that you can discover and people that you can meet and like these towns that are like in crisis and they need your help and you have to help them. But it's like it's not even quests. It's just like part of the world and being in that, and it was just really cool. Also, I ran over an armadillo with my horse. That was an interesting
Oh
experience.
no, poor little armadillo. Did you kill it?
Well, I ran it over, so
Yeah.
yeah.
R.I.P.
But,
little armadillo.
The desert is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Um, so, and I tried to go and get an Arabian horse. Are you familiar, Rick, with the? So the Arabian horse in Red Dead 2 is the best horse that you can get, basically. And there's only one area on the map that you can get it, and that's way up in the Alps, basically in the snow biome kind of thing. So I'm going up there, and I could not tame this horse for the life of me. Like I would jump on it, or actually, first of all, it would take me forever to get up to it. And then I would jump on and it would buck me off immediately. And then I figured out that I was hitting the wrong keybinds once I hopped onto the horse to stay on. And I had spent like an hour and a half trying to figure this out. So in the end, I ended up losing the horse in a blizzard. And I lost my other horse. I don't know where my other horse went. So then I had to like set up camp in this like shack that I found in the woods. And there was like a bed there. So I slept till morning. It was wild. It's wild, I tell you. I actually also stumbled upon the original place that you start out in the game.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, in that like snowy, which is really cool. So I have to go. That's one of the things that I want to do next. Is I want to go up there and try to find that Arabian horse again. But there's still so much to do in the game. There's still so much to do. Like there's all this stuff I want to explore. A lot of the towns, like Saint Denis, I still have to explore much of that. And I get mail now regularly from like some of the characters that I lived with in the posse and like robbed banks with. I get mail from them, and I send them mail. Like
That's so cute.
Yeah. Hunting and fishing is like a whole other part of the game that is amazing. Hunter Call of the Wild, who needs that when you've got Red Dead Redemption? So fishing is awesome. Fishing is so great. I caught a 25-pound largemouth bass the other night. 4 Mile was here, and we went and did a little fishing. So, anyways, that's Red Dead Redemption. I also played some ETS 2, but you know who also played some ETS 2? 4 Mile.
Aww.
Yeah, she had to come into town on conference, and she asked if she could stay here. And so she stayed this past week from Sunday until Wednesday. And so we got to hang out on Sunday night and Tuesday night. And it was like,
How fun.
It was like watching her drive in ETS was the best thing ever. Like it was like, it's hilarious because she's driven these trucks and like tractors and like she totally knows what she's doing in real life, but she was a mess in ETS 2. An absolute mess. So I get her onto the steering wheel, right? Because I've got a Logitech steering wheel, and I get her set up with a job, and I said, okay, well we got to go drive to the yard to pick up your trailer, and so she's driving. Wow, this is great, blah 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 blah. She gets to the yard, and she's like, okay. Well, that was fun. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, aren't we done? I'm like, no, you got to hook up to your trailer.
So haven't even picked up the load yet.
She thought she had finished the mission, but we haven't even hooked up to the trailer yet. So, so she gets hooked up. That was fun, trying to back that thing in. She did a good job, though. She did a pretty good job. And it's funny, like to hear her like play, because while she's playing, she's like, "Oh, this is never how it is in real life. Like, where are the chains for this?" Like, yeah. And then she starts driving. And she's like, it's like she's driving a Porsche. Like she's doing like 130 kilometers an hour, pulling this 25-ton load down the highway, hitting all the guardrails, jumping over grass. Like, it's just like She's like, it's fine. I got it. It's like,
That's awesome.
yeah. I don't know what happened. Something happened. She hit a guardrail or a tree or something and totally obliterated the truck. Like the truck was like done, like totally finished. So we had to call a tow truck to get us to the shop. But somehow it like glitched at the shop and it like flew up. The truck like flew up in the air. And it came back down. And then when I went to try to hit the button to repair it, it would fly up in the air again and come back down. And it just kept doing that. And I was like, so we were like stuck in this perpetual loop of like game glitch, and we couldn't get out of it. I had to go into the console and actually like teleport to a different area on the map and then drive to the or like teleport back to the garage. It was wild. It was wild. It was awesome watching her play that. Like that was just like so great. So I've also played some Ark. Sorry, I'm totally taking up all the airtime.
Oh no, carry on. It's lovely.
The Valentine's, I never play this many games. The Valentine's event was awesome. We had sexy clothes this time.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I had a little frilly skirt and like this nice sash and little golden wings that were just like, and a halo and a Cupid bow that I could shoot arrows, red heart arrows at my enemies and make them fall in love with me.
Oh.
Yeah. It was funny because when you shoot the arrows, there's like little arrows that like stream out the back of it as it's like flying through the air. It's super cute. Yeah, and yeah, the Ark event, it was sort of short-lived. Like we tried to play a lot of it, Jess and Hobbit and I and 4 Mile and but yeah, it's still active on the server, so people can still like enjoy the red and pink and purple and white dinos. There was also like some taming perks, like if you tamed a dino, it was more effective, or if you breed them, you're like have more chance of mutation and stuff like that. So, but I also tried Arc Genesis, and if you guys don't know what Arc Genesis is, it's the new DLC that released this week for Arc. It is their new expansion, and it's amazing. It is so good. First of all, there's missions, which Arc has never done before. There's like quests and side quests and this whole story.
I've always thought Arc needed quests.
Oh, absolutely. I've always said that. And so they have these missions. You can play like basketball, or they call it dodo ball because you use dodos.
Oh.
And there's like races. You do like races on land dinos and air dinos. The biomes, you guys, are so beautiful. The only criticism that I have for Wildcard is that they made it so that you have to teleport between biomes. You can't just roam around the map like you can in Ragnarok from biome to biome, which is really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. I think that's what is probably going to make that DLC die out. But the biomes are beautiful. They have this bog, and it's literally like, I don't know. It's like giant flowers and like things that want to swallow you, and like insect swarms, and it's really like foggy. It's hard to see, and like there's these giant trees that you could like build an entire like base on, and it's like super cool. It's like Neverland, like good night Neverland. Like you just have this whole thing, and there's fairies, and it's amazing. The winter biome is kind of crazy because there's avalanches and they like chase you. So when 4 Mile and I had installed it and played it on Tuesday night, I was starting out in all the biomes because I wanted to see what they looked like. And so the bog biome was pretty cool. The Arctic biome, I basically spawned in and turned around, and there's just this giant avalanche coming down the hill at me. And I was like, oh, I'm running. And then there's like this T-Rex running after me and this avalanche. And I was like, ah! And I died instantly, just like that. So that was the snow biome. That was fun. Then they have this whole like underwater biome, which is like, there's a little smattering of islands, but apparently the whole world is underground, under the water. I mean, and so we did some swimming around. Beautiful. There's like these amazing coral reefs that you can see. And they have these giant sea turtles that you can build a base on the back of and like swim around on.
You can build the base on the back of a giant sea turtle?
Yes, you can.
That,
It's glorious.
that,
It's awesome. It's awesome. So you can have like this little house with the little all the things. So I don't know
I'm
how
a
do
fan
you
of
tame. I think that you would probably tame them the same way that you would with like the Titan boa or the Titanosaur, like the really large dinos. You have to use like a rocket launcher, and then you can't feed them. The food just like runs out, and then they die eventually. But I don't know. So the underwater biome looks really cool. I can't wait to explore that. And the last biome was the volcanic biome, which was wild. They have lava dinos made of lava.
that's awesome.
And they have like they have really cool colorings, and they glow in the dark, and it's just like it's literally like Mordor. It's literally Mordor. I was waiting for like Sam Wild Ganji to just come walking around the corner. Frodo, come back, Frodo.
You
Mr.
got one of the names right.
Yeah. Anyways,
An
so
effort was made.
that was Arc Genesis. And then I played Sea of Thieves, and this is our beautiful transition, Helene. We played Sea of Thieves lots.
We did.
And it's enjoyable. I made 50,000 gold last night, and I spent 50,000 gold last night on clothes and hats and patches and gloves and new shoes and hairstyles and makeup and actually I didn't buy any weapons.
Who needs them? You'll knock them dead with your stunning looks. It was fabulous. We had a little fashion show.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a new outfit. I'm ready to sport it tonight, and ready to make some more money. So
I'm
yeah.
very excited. Yes, we're going to have a great time. We played some Sea of Thieves last night. I've been playing a lot of Sea of Thieves lately, surprising no one. This is all I've talked about. You know, I used to pick on you vendors sometimes because every episode it was Arc. Every episode. But now that's me with Sea of Thieves. That's all I do. So it's been a little while since we had an episode of Gamestack. It's been about a month, I believe. And I think that at the time that we recorded our last episode, none of us were Pirate Legends. But at this time, Archin has achieved Pirate Legend, and so have I.
I'm so jealous.
Yes.
Bitches.
We are Pirate Legends. It is glorious.
What do you have to do to get that?
You have to max
Play a lot.
your reputation out to level 50.
You have to forfeit all personal commitments. And
You have to get to level 50 with Gold Hoarders, Merchants, and Order of Souls. So,
I'm not too far off. I'm like
yeah.
level 40.
and you can
most of those.
you can buy one level with doubloons. Like it costs like 30 doubloons to buy one level. So if you save that for the last level, that's the grindiest, longest level to achieve. So you can just skip from 49 to 50. So,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
That
Well,
is
I
what
have a
did.
new milestone to strive for now.
Indeed.
Mhm.
And it was very fabulous. I was really, really excited to become a Pirate Legend. And when you're a Pirate Legend, you get access to this completely different area. And you talk to the mysterious stranger. He gives you a special song. And you can open the way into this secret area. You can access it from any outpost. And it's this ghost ship pub type thing, and there's a ghost band.
Have you been in there, Rick?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Archin took me in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super
I was his
cool.
+1.
It's really I was the +1 yesterday. Except I fell through the map.
Yes,
Did
that
you?
was wild.
Yeah. I went around this corner and then walked up to the side of this like rock wall, and I just like plunk, fell through the map. And then I was like on the other side of the rock wall, and I could see Archin running around, but he couldn't see me. Yeah, it's good.
But you get awarded this fabulous purple and gold outfit. And you also have access to some new things from vendors. You can get some new clothes and equipment and weapons, and you can get some new stuff for your ship. And the other day, we were playing, Archon and I, and I was just running around the top of the island, gathering up coconuts and stuff, stocking the ship with supplies. And he had gone down into the Pirate Legend area. And I'm stocking the ship, gathering up bananas and stuff, and I hear him say, "Oh, you're gonna love that. I have to get it."
Oh no.
And I'm like, okay. And he says, "Shalene, I'm decorating the ship today, okay?" Like, okay, that's okay, it's fine. And I continue stocking the ship. A little while later, he comes up and decorates the ship. And he's like, okay, it's ready. So I come around, and there is this glorious figurehead on the ship. It is a black unicorn with a golden flowing mane and golden hooves. And it has a glowing horn and glowing green eyes. And it's magnificent. I love
That I'm a fan of.
so much.
It's quite nice.
Rad. I'll have him
so
put on the
cool.
ship tonight.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. And it cost him 300,000 gold.
See?
Ooh.
And I spend 50,000 on an outfit.
300,000. It was worth every penny that Archon spent on it, I must say. Yes. 300,000 gold. That Pirate Legend stuff is costly.
Mm-hmm.
But it's glorious and it's magnificent and I love it and it made me happy. But yeah, we had some shenanigans. I feel like since becoming a Pirate Legend, I have grown bolder. I am a bolder pirate than I was before I was a Pirate Legend.
A boulder pirate
Yes.
or a colon pirate? I'm sorry.
Okay, so we were on this island doing a skelly fight. We had been working on some of the new Chest of Rage quests, and we're doing this skeleton fight. And these other pirates just cruise by and attack us. They were just shooting cannons at our ship. And Archon, he grabbed an explosive barrel and swam over there and set it off. And he died in the process. He gave his life for this attack. But I wasn't dead. And usually I would focus on keeping our ship afloat, repairing it and that kind of thing and just die. But I was mad. I was fired up. These guys were trying to sink our ship. We're just trying to do a quest. And I got a pocket full of fireballs and I threw them into the sails and their rigging of their ship. And I grabbed a pocket of cannonballs and started knocking holes in the ship. And by the time Archon got back from the Ship of the Damned, they were on fire and full of holes. And one of their crew boarded our ship to kill me, and I just cut him down. It was great. I was so proud. It was wonderful.
Shalene got off her chancla.
Indeed. And the next day we were playing, and it was very active. We got attacked by several crews, and we sunk them all. Yeah, it was.
Holy crap!
Yes, our ship didn't sink one time. We got attacked by 3 or 4 different crews, and we would fight them, and you could see the moment where they regretted attacking us. They
Vendor, what's strange is she always tells me these stories like me and Archie were playing and we sunk all these people, and I'm like, how come we never sink anyone when I'm on?
It never happens.
It's me.
It was great, though. It was great.
It's me.
Oh, I laughed, though. I did laugh a lot because they would turn and run sometimes, and I would be like, oh, well, they're leaving, you want to let them go? And Archon's like, no, let's run them down and sink them.
Of course, you can't let that go unanswered.
I'm like, okay. So we would run them down and sink them, and it was glorious. And the day that we did this, guys, so the new update, the Chest of Rage update, included some ship customizations, right? Yeah. Those Wild Rose outfits and weapons? There's now a complete Wild Rose ship customization set. And when you put the entire Wild Rose set on your ship, it looks like a floating bordello.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's magnificent. It's wonderful. And so we decked our ship out in all the Wild Rose stuff, and we dubbed it the SS Roxanne. And we were We were in this flowery brothel of a ship.
If you ain't working, if you ain't on your back, you ain't working.
Oh my god.
And we
What is
were
that
running down all
Hell
of
on
these
Wheels.
pirates and just
right.
sinking them, just sending them straight to Davy Jones' locker, and it was glorious, and I loved it, and it was so fun.
I hope we have shenanigans like that tonight.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was,
yeah.
it
I
was
wanna-
great.
I want a testy night.
It was
mean, not
really
like-
great.
Not like
We
Yes,
had a
it
lot
will
of
be,
fun.
It will be filled with adventure.
We had
I
a lot of fun, and I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at PvP. So
hope.
Sounds like it.
that day that
So instead
that
of like just being
yeah.
like, hi, I'm Shalene.
Listen to
This is
Gamestack.
my boat.
as a cannonball takes her off of the ship as she's waving. Hi guys. Poof. And the next phrase would be, well, that was rude.
Yeah. Maybe they just maybe that was an accident.
But it's been fun. It's been fun. I helped. I contributed to the sinking of these ships, and it was lovely. We sunk their ships. We took their treasure, and we did some real piracy. It was
Cool.
cool. The chests of rage are really cool. They send out huge waves of fire. They get angry and just like, and it might be a bad idea to leave those next to a stronghold keg.
Oh.
Just saying.
Did you do that?
Possibly.
Boom.
But yeah, they're really neat, and there's a lot of stuff with this update going on in the volcano area, and you guys know how much Archon hates the volcano area. And I
It is
kind
a
of like it.
horrible place.
I kind of like it there. I think it's cool. I think it's exciting to sail through a section of ocean with car-sized chunks of flaming rock falling out of the sky.
I mean,
Um,
yeah.
I think it's fun.
We should go there in a sloop.
Yes, let's do it. Let's go. But yeah, Archon hates it, but we've been spending a lot of time in the volcano area because that's where the quests are. It's been a good time. Sea of Thieves, still love it. It's still wonderful. Can't wait. I'm a pirate legend. I'm really proud of that. Also, we've been playing some Fallout 76 as well. I was actually playing some 76 with Archon right before we went live on the show. Just keeping up with events and that kind of thing. The daily challenges, the weekly challenges. Waiting for Wastelanders. They had an update at PAX, and it looks really cool.
Nice.
I think it's going to be good. I'm looking forward. We're planning to start new characters for Wastelanders, and it looks like it's going to be worthwhile to play through the main quest as well as the new content.
I should do that
Yeah.
in anticipation of and build up my character for when that happens.
Yeah.
Or maybe not,
Well,
actually.
Wastelanders will be adding dialogue to some of the existing robot NPCs.
So I should just start yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think it would be worthwhile to see the experience from a fresh perspective. And you can always go back to your higher level character if you want to jump in to something, a little tougher. But yeah, that's very cool. I'm planning to check out a game called Femida, which is some kind of a court game where you play as a judge.
Oh, that is right up your alley.
Yeah, in a dystopian world. I'm looking forward to that. So I will be checking that out this week. Very excited. We didn't have any emails, so what the heck are you doing, guys, out there listening? If you listening right now, why didn't you send us an email? I know you had questions. I know you did. I know you had commentary because you're smart and you have
John?
interesting things to say.
John.
Not you.
Melissa.
But you, yeah.
Karen.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel.
Send us
You
some
guys,
emails.
come on. We know you're there.
Send those emails to info.
Fort.
Info. We just
Bort?
left games.com.
What are you drinking?
It's ginger beer.
Oh, it made a nice little.
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was lovely, especially after you had just said Bort.
Well, I
Bort?
mean, this was planned.
Info@wejustlovegames.com is our email address. Info@wejustlovegames.com. Join us next week for That Fallout Show podcast. And join us Sunday for Survival Horror Sunday. Anything else you guys want to plug?
Nope.
Colin?
Okay. That is a thing that can be plugged. Follow us on Twitter at We Just Love Games. I'm Shalene L, ShaLinel. Send your colon remedies to Rick McVick on Twitter.
Don't. Please don't.
All
Let's not start a trend of sending me awful things on Twitter.
well, you asked for it.
Yes.
I did not ask for it.
Yes. Send all of your colon-related media to Rick McVick on Twitter.
Yes. Rick is our official colon PR agent.
Send pictures of robots to Vendertron N on Twitter. Vendertron N.
Did you know robots don't have colons?
I did know that. Yeah, robots do not have colons, which is that's why you're not our colon expert on this show. Yeah. You can also find us on facebook.com/WeJustLoveGames and facebook.com/groups/WeJustLoveGames. We've got a Discord channel that is very active and full of gamers just like you. And it's a place where you can talk about the show. It's also a place where you can talk about video games, the problems going on in your life, makeup, music, TV, movies, books, anything you like. You know, it's a great community in our Discord, and I encourage you all to join. You can find that link on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames, or just send us a message on social media, and we will get you that Discord invite link. We record this show live at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. Please join us live in the chat, and we enjoy that very much. We really like keeping up with the chat commentary. We're on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc., etc. Like, subscribe, and review. It helps the show grow, helps us spread the word. Thank you so much for listening. Rick, do you have a last word?
Yes, keeping in the Western theme. See if you guys can get this one. Ah, women. I never met one yet that was half as reliable as a horse.